So it seems like essentially out of nowhere, there's this sudden, dishonest, yet intense energy coming from the left. Now, where was this intensity during the election? It's so important for the mental health of these people to realize they lost. Trump won not only the popular vote, but also, of course, the electoral vote. So by law, he is your president. And the outrage over this corruption that's being outed, why would you not want to know that wasteful spending, which you're paying for through your taxes, why would you not want to know about that being cut? And some of the arguments being made on places like Reddit are completely preposterous and dishonest, right? People saying Elon has posted no proof of these programs that he's calling out. He's posted no proof. But that's actually not true. If you go to doge.gov, very simple address to type in, doge.gov, in any web browser connected to the internet, you'll see it's like a blog format where they're posting what they're finding. And they're posting the screenshots, which contain both the agency number and the procurement identifier for these contracts, as well as the solicitation ID, the date signed, the date the funds were sent. What more do you need? I mean, some of these people are basically retreating into this absurd argument where they can't be sure that Musk and Trump are telling us the truth about these ridiculous programs that are being cut. Again, he's giving you such granular data on doge.gov that you can even see the procurement offers and the identifier number and where the money was going and what date it was sent and how much total. What more do you need? I guess some of these people on the left over on Reddit think that the world works like a CSI episode and there's some back room they can take you into with a bunch of computer screens that will show the bits literally traversing the internet, right? The bits of data traversing the internet as somebody's bank account is receiving these illicit funds. That's not how it works in the real world. These screenshots from the agencies themselves and from the procurement portals that are used by federal contractors, these are good enough for a courtroom. This is good enough to put people in prison. So why would this not be good enough for some randos on Reddit? It's a level of intellectual dishonesty that's just unnecessary. You lost the election. You completely lost both the popular and the electoral vote. And of causes to champion after the election, instead of returning to their roots, caring about things like workers' rights and labor unions and protection of the American worker, I don't hear that rhetoric at all. It's just some nasty, weird, reactionary Potemkin village, basically. You go over on Reddit, there was a post, one of my videos, cutting through some of these programs and explaining what Doge has already found. And pretty unbiased video. People can watch it. It's over on my channel. So it was posted over there and it was getting hundreds of upvotes and all these interesting comments, people responding both from the right and the left. And then someone swooped in there, some mod, or some admin at Reddit, swooped in there and literally deleted all the comments that were, even remotely positive and left only the kind of astroturf comments saying, Musk is stealing your personal data. Oh, is he? He's stealing my personal data? I didn't take out multi-million-dollar grants from the government. I don't think he's stealing any of my personal data. And what would he use our data for? Is he going to perform an ID theft and take out a credit card in our names when he's the world's richest person? Ridiculous argument. And it's not as if he's personally looking through all this stuff. There's a whole team of people doing it. But yeah, I just want to read from the website. This is again from doge.gov. U.S. taxpayer dollars were going to be spent on the following items, all of which have been canceled. $10 million for, quote, Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcision. I'm going to click on this whole thing here so I can read all of them. $9.7 million for UC Berkeley to develop a, quote, cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. Nearly $10 million. $2.3 million for, quote, strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. How about strengthening some independent voices here in America? $32 million to the Prague Civil Society Center. How about we rebuild our civil society here in the United States? $40 million for, quote, gender equality and a women empowerment hub. Again, overseas. How about we empower women here in the United States? $14 million for, quote, improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million, that's nearly $500 million, to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for, quote, inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova. How about an inclusive political process here in the United States? I was banned from posting basically anywhere on the internet for nearly 8 years for talking about former White House advisor John Podesta's very real emails, which were leaked by WikiLeaks before the 2016 election cycle, right before. I was banned from speaking in America. How about we focus on that a little bit? $29 million to, quote, strengthening political landscapes in Bangladesh. $20 million for, quote, fiscal federalism in Nepal. $19 million for, quote, biodiversity conversations in Nepal. $1.5 million for, quote, voter confidence in Liberia. How about increasing the voter confidence right here in the USA? $14 million for, quote, social cohesion in Mali. $2.5 million for, quote, inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47 million for, quote, improving learning outcomes in Asia. How about improving the learning outcomes right here in the East Coast of the United States? $2 million to develop, quote, sustainable recycling models to, quote, increase socioeconomic cohesion among marginalized communities of Kosovo, Ashkali, and Egypt. Hey, if we had absolutely unlimited money, I don't think sending all this cash to these garbage programs would be such a big deal. But they literally force us by law to pay about half of our money to the government, and they turn around and this is where it's actually going. Even leftists should be outraged. Even the people on Reddit should be fucking outraged that this is where our money's going, and not to paying down people's student loans, and not to providing opportunity for new graduates here in the United States, and not to protecting voter rights here in the United States, but to fucking Liberia and Nepal. It's outrageous. Other countries don't do this. Other countries don't tax their citizens and then send so much of the money abroad to programs that are just absolutely preposterous. This is like an SNL skit. Sending $10 million to medical male circumcision in Mozambique. You're telling me that $10 million can't be spent in any better way? Then I guess stop spending money. I guess we've solved all the world's problems. If that's what it comes down to, that's all that's left. I guess we fixed everything already. So again, these people on Reddit who are in election mode, deleting everybody's comments, it's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourselves. And I don't see how Reddit can even remain a public platform, right? It's a publicly held company. And it's just the DNC operation. It's not a fair discussion forum. It's totally like George Soros's discussion board. George Soros, John Podesta, the social media community. It's a joke. So my strategy, and I would encourage you guys to do this, I'm going to post all my content over there because I have an old account with basically infinite karma points from hitting the homepage a bunch way back in the day. Has like infinite karma, so whenever I post something, it does well initially. I'm going to start posting all my content there and all this Doge stuff that's coming out until I get banned from every single subreddit there. Because it's a shill job. It's a total astroturfed shill job to remove half the comments that are people saying, oh, wow, this is actually very fascinating, and just leaving these total bizarre red herring arguments about, again, Elon Musk is stealing our data and he's literally murdering people. No, he's not. He's not literally or figuratively murdering people. These are dumb arguments, and all the one-sided censorship is literally why you folks lost the election. And then the other thing that I've seen take off on the left over the last few days, some big influencers making this argument that even if the vaccines didn't work, the vaccines worked. Like, are you trying to gaslight us again? Even if the product did not work, it worked. in what other area of life does that argument make any sense? You know, even if I got things wrong, I got things right. No, it's just weird gaslighting. And who are these folks appealing to? The people they're trying to appeal to are out of power. They're literally not in the White House anymore. Some of them are lawyering up because of all this financial fraud they've engaged in. Who are these idiots appealing to on the internet? Who are they trying to suck up to? The power base has changed radically over the last several weeks. The person who's going to be FBI director has pledged to look into all this filth, not just the financial fraud, but the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. He's pledged to do it. The prior guy never did. The prior guy was a shill. So again, these folks on Reddit, I hope you're being paid. I hope somebody's paying you because you're humbling and embarrassing yourselves. And get ready, it's 4 years of this, at least 4 years. I think Democrats are done for decades. Who's going to vote for this? Who's going to vote for the party of defending vaccines that didn't work and defending hundreds of millions of dollars going to programs overseas that are absolutely fucking outrageous? Thank you guys so much.